Good morning. This is Pub Football. It is a huge day for both of us. I'm a Spurs fan. Jimmy's an Arsenal fan. It's North London Derby Day. We'll get to that very shortly. First, we've got to go through yesterday's results in the Premier League. One team won't be in the Premier League next season. That's Norwich City. They got absolutely hammered. I think a whimper would be the way to best describe the end of their season now, losing 4-0 at home to West Ham, Watford beating Newcastle, Liverpool drawing with Burnley, Sheffield United thrashing Chelsea, and Brighton getting understandably battered by Manchester City. Norwich, I expected better than them in the game where they could get relegated.
Agreed, mate. Obviously, my prediction from yesterday was very close.
So that's many times this season.
I think I was on the way home from work yesterday. I heard it on the radio and it went, "Oh, can Norwich 0 West Ham 4?" And I just burst out laughing. I was like, "Oh, for God's sake!" So it just sums up Norwich, doesn't it? Very pretty football with no end product, and they absolutely ship goals, and they couldn't handle Mikel Antonio. So yeah, fair play to him.
Yeah, it's set pieces. It's the physical presence of Mikel Antonio just killed them, and they're going to be playing Championship football next season, which has been something that's been on the cards for a long time. And the thing is, if you think about the worst teams in Premier League history, they've not got many points, but they've played better football. They just couldn't win.
Yeah, agreed. I think they should be okay next year as well. If they keep the majority of the side, it's a young squad. I like the way they play football. They could bounce straight back up again, but it's just naivety at this level, isn't it? Just stupid goals and slightly kamikaze football.
As for West Ham, that should just about be that. It does depend on today's results for me, though. 3 games to go. At the moment, 6 points clear. Of course, Bournemouth and Aston Villa both playing today. But result that they very, very much needed.
Yeah, as you say, level with Watford now, aren't they? And I think they're pretty much done and dusted. If they can just pick up a point or a win, job done.
Same goes for Watford, winning 2-1 at Newcastle, coming from behind, 2 Troy Deeney penalties. He wasn't mucking about with either of them. He just smashed them both straight down the middle.
I did think for the second one, I thought the keeper should have just stood there because he would have just caught it. Because he never puts them in the corner, does he? He always smacks them down the middle. You think just be brave, stand there.
Yeah, but Watford fans don't care. Again, same amount of points as West Ham. It looks pretty much done. Again, it's down to today's results. If Bournemouth and Aston Villa can get wins today, it's all on. 3 games to play, 3 points. But 3 games to play, 6 points. That becomes a much more difficult proposition, especially with Bournemouth running. So Watford will be very happy.
Yeah, big time. It's a huge result for Watford. 2 big wins on the bounce, I believe. And yeah, they're going to be fine, I think. Job done.
Yeah, Newcastle mid-table. Liverpool, Burnley. Interesting. Liverpool didn't win at home for the first time in ages, but fair play to Burnley. They got smashed through most of the game, but they managed to get an equaliser through Jay Rodriguez, who's done quietly well since the restart.
Yeah, it was good. They were absolutely brilliant defensively. Nick Pope made a couple of fantastic saves. Tarkowski's getting better by the game.
England number 1?
Yeah, potentially, mate. I've got to say, Pickford was flapping at a couple of corners a few nights ago, so I wouldn't put it past him. But yeah, no, they're very organised. Liverpool pretty poor. I think they're kind of going to peter out a little bit this year, to be honest. But great goal from Rodriguez, 2 on the bounce. He's looking quite good, actually.
Yeah, again, outside call for an England call up, but there's quite a few players playing well in those positions for England at the moment. Sheffield United 3. Chelsea 0. Now, I predicted a Sheffield United win here, and I'm so happy with myself that I took the punt and I didn't go the easy route, because Chelsea were poor, Sheffield United great, and David McGoldrick doesn't have 1 Premier League goal, he has 2. Finally, he's played so well this season, he deserves it.
The big time, he does all the legwork, never gets any goals, never gets any real credit for anything, but he took his goals beautifully. It's a big reality check for Chelsea. I thought they were awful, absolutely awful. They can't seem to get that midfield free right at the moment. They played Jorginho, didn't work. It was really, really, really poor. So fair play to Sheffield United, a couple of wins on the bounce. Really going for it now, aren't they? They're right up there.
Well, Leicester and Man United can both bounce ahead of Chelsea today. Man City are appealing the European ban. So it's it's an interesting one. Sheffield United are only 4 points behind them if they're playing like they did yesterday. Could Chelsea
Yeah.
come out of those Champions League places after seemingly being assured of them when we went into
Yeah.
lockdown?
Yeah, definitely. I think I get what he's doing. He's trying to obviously tinker to find out what the best midfield free combo is, who to play up front. But it's just that's a big game yesterday. You don't faff around in a game like that. You go and win it. And that's put them under massive pressure with teams behind them, especially United, absolutely flying.
Right, Brighton, Man City, not much to say. Man City are great. Brighton are all but safe. It's an expected result. Man City are much better, but Raheem Sterling's third goal was brilliant.
Yeah, as you say, they got absolutely hammered Brighton. But yeah, it's a weird goal, wasn't it? He headed it in, didn't he? Headed it through the legs, or it was a bit weird.
He fell on it. So he fell over, the ball came down and landed on the back of his head and went into the goal.
But yeah, fantastic performance. They've been the best team by miles since coming back from lockdown, and that's quite ominous for next year, how easily they're beating teams.
Okay, on to today's games. Let's do some predictions. Wolves, Everton at 12 and Molineux. I see a Wolves win. I know they lost to Sheffield United in the last minute during the week, but Everton, I don't think have been very good. I'm going to go 2-1.
Yeah, as you say, I think two similar sides. I think Wolves are a little bit better at the moment. 1-0, Raul Jimenez.
Aston Villa, Crystal Palace. Now, this is a game that Aston Villa
That's a huge game.
Win. Crystal Palace are safe. They're not really threatening Europe. So, I mean, I'm tempted to go Villa upset. I think it's at this time of the season, 4 games left, that these teams will fight and scrap. 1-0? 1-0 Aston Villa.
Yeah, I was going to say, this is massive for Aston Villa. They've got to win. And Palace have been pretty mediocre since the first game. So, yeah, I agree. It's going to be tight. It's going to be horrible to watch. But Samatta will probably score a header and win 1-0.
Tottenham, Arsenal. This is the big one for us. 4:30, North London derby. Arsenal have found a bit of form and improved a lot since lockdown. Tottenham are absolutely rubbish. Now, on the radio all week, people are saying form goes out the window in a derby. I'm not sure with this one because it's behind closed doors, so you don't have that crowd, that atmosphere in the stadium. It's just players versus players. And I don't think players have that same fight as they did back in the day for derbies anymore. They're all friends, they're all colleagues on the international stage. I honestly can't see Tottenham getting anything out of it.
Really? Wow. I completely agree with you. For a North London derby, there isn't that feel to it today, is there? It feels like kind of a bit like a friendly is going to happen later, and it's just, you never know, something might happen. But as you say, Spurs have been really poor in the last couple of weeks, and thankfully Arsenal were going in the other direction. I do think players like Harry Kane, maybe if Dele Alli starts or Lamela starts, have shown a bit of fight, a bit of passion. But apart from that, I think we might nick it as well. I'm going to go 1-0.
1-0. I'm going to go 2-0.
Oh.
I was gonna go 3-0, then I went, no, that's just some anger from the Bournemouth game. Calm yourself, Mark.
That is whoa.
Yeah, I'm gonna go 2-0 Arsenal. I hate to say it, and I hate to bet against Spurs in North London derbies. It's the worst thing to do as a Spurs fan. If I'm thinking realistically, Tottenham just don't look like scoring and they can't defend. So
I feel Arsenal are better organised, playing better football, suddenly got a bit of kind of form together. I agree. I think we're going to nick it.
Bournemouth, Leicester. Bournemouth in the same boat as Villa. Need to win. Absolutely. If they don't lose this, that's pretty much game over, barring a miracle.
Agreed.
But Leicester need to win as well. We just mentioned Chelsea. They'll be able to jump ahead of Chelsea. If they lose today and Man United win tomorrow, United will go ahead of them and into that 4th spot. If Man City's appeal is upheld, no longer Champions League football. So Leicester should be coming out fighting here. It's going to be very tricky for Bournemouth. I think that the Tottenham game was a blip, personally. I think Bournemouth are still terrible. So I'm going to go with the Leicester win.
I agree. It's a huge game for both sides. Unfortunately, Bournemouth's form is so poor, they're going to get beaten 2-0.
Yeah.
And they're going to go down.
Exactly the same thing. 2-0 to Leicester. That was Pub Football with Miles and Jimmy. We're watching the North London derby together later, so expect some happy and sad faces and probably some Instagram posts. So follow us on Instagram at pub_football. Make sure you like and subscribe to this channel if you're just coming across it, and hit the alert button so that you know when we're posting videos. Anyway, one thing left to say, and that's cheers.